It took 4 reading vlogs to actually have my computer with battery when I filmed this. So, good job me. Today is Sunday, as you may know, and chapter 4 comes out. I'm excited because I don't have an 800 book to read anymore, even though I loved it. Check out my other video. I'm gonna open the website, but while I wait for it to open, I'm currently reading. I haven't started. I have to read this for chapter 3's prompt, which I did not complete yet. I'm excited to read this. Everyone on BookTube loves this book, so I will probably love it too, because I guess I'm the same. I don't know. Let us open chapter 4, which is the second to last chapter, which is sad. And yet again, I'll include all of the screenshots and whatever. Welcome to chapter 4. Get ready to be read to like a child. Just so you know, if you didn't see the last video, the Chamber of Secrets has been opened and everyone's seen the Mrs. Norris, the cat. So yeah, that is the context.
The whole school, including the staff, seemed to be a bit shaken up about the writing on the castle's wall. Some even cared about Mrs. Norris, although majority were glad of the temporary break from the sneaky little monster. Poor cat. Filch has been haunting the castle, looking as lively as Moaning Myrtle. Enemies of the air beware? What does that mean? Most teachers appeared to believe this to be but a tasteless prank, insisting on not wasting time on such silly rumors, and refusing to talk about the legend of the Chamber of Secrets. Cough, cough, McGonagall and Snape. Some students swore they already knew what this is all about, whilst others made plans on when and whom to ask about it. That they all had one thing in common. Everyone was speaking about it. Have you already read a little about the Chamber of Secrets?
In chapter 1, did you select to join the book club with Hermione? No, I did not. So we have 2 choices. Either we did, yes, I am a member of the Book Owlry Club. No. And no, I did not. We joined the dueling club, so we did not. Then we have a picture of a classroom with, I think it's Professor Binns from history. Yes, it is. I read ahead.
The next time Chamber of Secrets is brought up is over history of magic. Professor Binns does not register it at first, but surprisingly agrees to tell the class briefly about the legend, after clarifying that he deals in fact not myths and legends though.
Then it's the story about how it was built in the book. I'm not going to read it because it's long. And then I got my first reading prompt, so we have already one. And it is to read a book that starts with the letter S for Slytherin. How appropriate. So let's find a book. I'm gonna read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Book number 1. Let's continue. And then there's a gif of the Christmas dinner party thing. And it says,
It's the start of Christmas break. True. The Great Hall changes the enchanted ceiling to now occasionally float tiny snowflakes down onto the shoulders of the remaining students. A lot of your peers decided to go home for the holidays, but you, Ron, and Hermione are spending it here at Hogwarts. There are maybe a dozen stunning Christmas trees with little charmed reindeers zooming around their branches. The silver suits of armor spontaneously erupt into a cheerful Christmas song when someone passes them, and the mountaintops outside often blend into the calm white of the sky. With everything going on, it's so nice to have the castle a bit quieter and relax for a couple of days, not to mention the food is as amazing as ever. Maybe even a tad more delicious, as some festive dishes were added to the menu just yesterday.
and then it's G saying that there's a giveaway. But I don't really want to enter the giveaway, so that's okay. Somebody else can win it. Then there's a picture of the Gryffindor common room, and it says,
Naturally, after the Chamber of Secrets message has appeared and Mrs. Norris has been petrified, all you 3 were doing was coming up with theories on who's responsible. Ron jumps to the conclusion that it's 100% Malfoy, and has been acting aghast whenever Hermione brings up a point against his suspicions. During another one of these instances, Hermione puffs her chest and admits that she has come up with a way of finding out if Malfoy truly is the heir of Slytherin or not. Go on then, Ron waves his hand impatiently. She's explaining all about the polyjuice potion, not leaving the part out about how many rules you would break if you go ahead with this plan. But that it would allow you to change your appearance into any Slytherin and infiltrate their common room, hopefully getting Malfoy to boast about being the heir. But you said it would take a month. We cannot wait that long. What if someone else gets attacked? She blushes and mumbles something about having the potion brewing in secret already for a while. It's almost ready to use if we so wish. A bit surprised yet impressed, you mull over the idea. On one hand, it's something you could do tomorrow, and that would hopefully give you all some answers. Plus, you've always been curious to see how Malfoy acts around his own friends, and about how the Slytherin common room looks. On another hand, you feel like there's so many holes in this plan. You'd be breaking so many rules and you have a feeling there's another way to go about this. You don't really think that Malfoy is the heir either way. Your friends look at you expectantly.
You either say, okay, let's use the polyjuice potion, or no, there must be another way. Okay, I have to think. If Hermione is already doing the polyjuice potion, I would feel bad not using it because she put all that effort. But I'm also very rule abiding. Let's just use the polyjuice potion and let's be adventurous. Who knows? Then there's a picture of Hermione brewing the potion. And it says,
Hermione jumps up eagerly and leads you to the aforementioned girls' bathroom. Ron looked visibly uncomfortable. Her cauldron stands right there in the middle of the aisle. When met with quizzical looks, she explains that this is one bathroom everyone avoids going to, because it's the one haunted by Myrtle. Thankfully, she seems to be absent at the time. Hermione sits down and adds a couple more drops of some thick black material to the cauldron. The contents of the cauldron bubble up almost to the rim. You take a step back just to be safe. You've been burnt one too many times before. And the liquid settles back down, changing the color from vivid green to more translucent shade. Oh good, sighs Hermione. According to her, all you guys needed now are a few more herbs that should be available at the potions class cupboard. A piece of whomever you want to turn into. Come again, Ron exclaims in disgust, and to keep stirring this continuously for another hour. If you want to do this tonight, you better split up. It's up to you which task you'd rather take on.
so we have 3 choices. We can either gather the missing herbs, retrieve a couple hairs from Crabbe and Goyle, or stay and stir the cauldron. I do not want to get into Snape, so option 1 is gone. I don't want to be boring stirring the cauldron, so I'm gonna go get Crabbe and Goyle's hair. Then we have a picture of Crabbe and Goyle from the movie when they find the floating cakes.
Ew, you'll have to drink a potion of Goyle or Crabbe. Trying to repress that thought for now, you come up with a plan. It's simple really. What motivates these two the most? As far as you know, food. You ask Hermione to jinx a couple of muffins so that anyone who would eat them would fall asleep for an hour or so. You wait for Crabbe and Goyle to leave the Great Hall, and Wingardium Leviosa the muffins, so they're situated in front of them. You have 2 particular fears about this part of the plan. First, what if they're not hungry? They're leaving the Great Hall after all. And secondly, who's thick enough to go ahead and eat something that mysteriously appeared to be floating in front of you? But you needn't worry. Upon noticing the muffins, both boys share an ecstatic glance, as if they just won a lottery, and sink their teeth into them. It was smooth sailing from there. You got the hair, move them to the nearby closet, and run back. You can feel guilty later. Now it's time to act.
Then I have another reading prompt, and it's hair thin. Read a book that's no longer than 125 pages. Do I even have that? I'm gonna read The Little Smurf, basically. It's in Swedish, it's about the Smurfs, and it's less than 125 pages. It's 63 pages. Then there's a picture of Hermione pouring the juice into the little cups things. And it says,
There we go, the missing herbs are added, potion turns mint green, and the polyjuice potion is ready for the very last ingredient. Hermione has a Slytherin girl's hair that she plucked from her cloak during one of their shared lessons. Ron got Crabbe and you were left with Goyle. And you add your hairs into the vials, the potion turns muddy brown and thickens up to the most unappealing lumpy consistency. Yikes, better hurry up, these work best when fresh.
Then there's just one option and it says bottoms up. Then there's a picture of the Slytherin common room.
And it says, Hermione runs into the cubicle and insists that you go without her. Not having the time to reason with her, you listen. By some dumb luck, you get spotted by Draco himself. Just 5 minutes of wondering with slight panic that you will not find their common room in time. A part of the plan you somehow forgot to think about. You follow him silently, and he rants away about his most recent Quidditch match. And he dared to look me in the eye and suggest that I need to have a better lookout on my left. The guy couldn't find soap if it was in front of him. The state of him, I'll never understand how he's in Slytherin. You go down to the dungeons. You should have suspected. The password is pure blood. Then there's a description of the Slytherin common room from the book. I'm not going to read it. It says, it was actually a rather nice, calm-looking surrounding, almost soundproof. You could see the water reflecting on the ceiling. It had the most bizarre soothing effect. The other students laugh and chat away, looking actually really friendly. After some more monologuing by Draco, you and Ron start to nudge him towards the right subject, the Slytherin heir. However, at one point, you must have said something that was a longer sentence that Draco had ever heard Goyle say, so he grows suspicious. Uh-oh. In Chapter 1, did you speak with Mr. Weasley about his raids of Malfoy Manor?
I think I did. Yeah, I did. There was a choice between yes I did, no I did not. There's a gif of Draco being confused, and it says,
Bloody hell, lucky that you have some information about his room back home from Mr. Weasley that you can use right now. Draco assumes that only the real Crabbe and Goyle would know the bits he worked into the conversation.
Then you have an option, only one, that says, phew, let's continue. Like, phew, you know what I mean. Then there's a picture of Harry finding nearly headless Nick petrified, and it says,
As Malfoy settles back into his elegant chair, seemingly convinced that you are acting normal, he gets back to the topic at hand.
And it's the part of the book where he's like, I don't know who it is, I wish I knew.
Well, that settles it. Malfoy isn't the heir. You turn your head towards Ron, or Crabbe, who looks at you in return. His eyes suddenly widen before you could ask you suspect why. Crab's hair suddenly starts turning bright red and growing longer. Your time is up. You shoot up from the sofa and run for it, shouting a reply to Malfoy's question, "Hospital wing, got stomach ache." By the time you get to the first floor, you are almost back to your old selves. You run towards the hallway where you hid your clothes to change. But Ron says he's going to check on Hermione that he will meet you later. After you're comfortably in your own uniform, you turn to go back too. But then you hear it, the same cold whisper that made your skin crawl. After half a second of hesitation, you follow the sound. What if someone was in trouble? The sound travels faster than you could run, however. Once you turn the corner, you are met with a grim view. There in the middle of the dimly lit corridor is nearly headless Nick. But he has an odd shape to him. He is very clearly not his usual self. He seems petrified. And behind him lays a Hufflepuff boy from your year. He looks as if he was turned to stone too. What do you do? Do you approach the scene or do you run before anyone actually sees you? You'll of course make sure someone does find them soon. Half the school seems to think you have something to do with the Chamber of Secrets, since you were the one to find Mrs. Norris. It would be terrible to be found at another crime scene again.
Then you have two choices. It says, no, you can't risk being seen near them, or approach them. I think I would approach them, because I'm not gonna run away. I think that's more suspicious. Then we have a little picture of Filch.
You approach the ghost slowly, but even as you take your first step, you hear Filch's dragged footsteps. You look around for a place to hide, but alas, too late. He spots you, grins his manic grin, and shakes his finger at you. I did say it was you all along. Mrs. Norris will get justice. Stay right here. I suppose no point in running now. Just a minute later, McGonagall gasped as she's met with a crime scene. Follow me. I think you need to speak to the headmaster.
Then you only have one option, which is go to the headmaster's office. Holy, this is long. Then you have a picture of Dumbledore's office.
Dumbledore's office is the most extravagant, elegant, and mysterious room you've ever stepped your foot in. The brass and gold details shimmer from every corner as you walk towards his desk. The headmaster must be at the back. You're too nervous to stay still, so you walk towards the left shelves. There's so many magical trinkets there that you can't even begin to imagine the properties and purposes for all of them. A familiar shape on the second top shelf catches your eye, however. It's the sorting hat. A bit less formal looking, more relaxed, but limp to be honest, but it's the hat, all right. You clear your throat to wake it and ask a question that has been bothering you for a while. Can you really be the heir of Slytherin? The hat, in its usual nature, doesn't give you a straightforward answer, but you do have a semi-pleasant chat with it. As the hat excuses itself back into a nap, you hear a quiet chirp. How did you miss this beautiful bird? It does look a bit worse for wear. You approach it carefully and extend your hand. The bird reaches it with its head and gently rubs his beak onto your hand, blinking slowly. You just get the sense that this is one kind-hearted, calm creature.
And then you get a prompt, which is tweet a photo of your favorite bird and hashtag I met Fox. So I'm gonna do that after I finish this. I'll put a screenshot up somewhere here. Then we have a gif of Fox burning up, and it's in caps.
Merlin's pants. What? The bloody bird caught on fire. And then it's normal.
Why do things like that happen when you're near? That can't be normal. Are you actually an omen of bad luck? Your heart starts beating so fast, but a chuckling Dumbledore enters the room, saying, "About time." A new baby phoenix rises from the ashes. The tiniest little chirp escapes its beak, and Dumbledore pets it. Still a bit startled, you sit down nervously, only to be calmed and reassured by Dumbledore, who apparently does not think that you're responsible of the attacks at all, which is a great relief. You feel privileged for being able to witness the rebirth of the phoenix, and you come to gently pet it, as it gives you a tiny nibble. Looks like it has taken a liking to you. You don't know what is going on, but you'd be damned if you don't figure it out before the next time you've found first at another crime scene. Even Dumbledore must have his limits.
And then that's the end, finally. And it says you have completed chapter 4. Make sure to rest in your dorm until chapter 5. So this week, I have 3 books to read. Daisy Jones and the Six, because of the last chapter that I didn't read. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. And The Little Smurf by Cause and Comics. I guess. I don't know who even writes this. God, this is old. This is from 1978. Old. I have these to read, so that's fun. I'm gonna go read. No, I'm not. Calm down. I'm gonna open my chocolate. Yes, Queen. Today's the 22nd. Ow. It's a Mars bonbon. Delicious. I'm gonna go now, so I'll talk to you tomorrow if I don't finish a book. Bye. I don't know if you noticed maybe the audio change or the quality change. Again, the light is here. But I got a camera for Christmas, so this is weird. I'm still trying to figure out how this works. But I'm really excited, so now I can have my phone in my hand. Anyways, yesterday and the day before was Christmas Eve and day. There is just one thing I need. Nothing really. Christmas tree. Na, 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 na. And I didn't have any time because both days I was with my family the whole time. So I didn't even open my chocolates. So the 24th is M&M's. 23rd I didn't open. Bounty. And that's all the chocolates gone. Reading wise, I'm excited to tell you I read a lot. I finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I gave it 4 stars. I just felt that it wasn't that interesting. I just felt it was missing something. I don't know. And the plot twist wasn't that big. And it was leading up to something a lot more than that. This book, just to warn you if you are planning on reading it, I'm gonna give you trigger warnings for abortion, addiction to drugs and alcohol, and yeah. So beware of that. That means that I have finished the prompt from chapter 3, which was to read a book with pink or purple on the cover. This has pink and purple. Then I read The Little Smurfette, translated, in Swedish, which is for the prompt to read a book that's less than 125 pages. This is 62, I believe. And I didn't really like it. It's a comic for children. Deep down, I think it was commenting on women being annoying, so I was triggered. But yeah, I give it 2.5. It was fine. So I completed another prompt. Since I finished those 2 books, the only other book I have is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, which I'm really excited to read. And that is all the reading I've done. So I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna lie. I've already filmed this video, clip, whatever, before on the date. Today's the 17th. It's way in the future. But I filmed this clip on the day, and for some reason, I can't import it into my phone to edit it. So here we are. We're gonna do it all over again. Okay, chapter 5. So I'm gonna say everything I said in that video because, yeah, I'm not ending the vlog because I thought it was useless since I filmed like 2 clips of chapter 4. And so that is why we're here. I'm gonna speed this extremely because I know nobody cares.
Another month has passed, and even though you 3 have tried to uncover the mystery of the air, you did not learn much else. On one sunny morning during breakfast, Professor Sprout announced that the mandragoras are almost ready, and the victims of the attacks can be healed in less than a fortnight. Naturally, that means they can tell us who the attacker is. So it was agreed in the group to just give it a rest and let the teachers sort this out. The overall spirit seems to lift quite a bit as another day passes without any attacks. There is a little party at the dorm tonight as the long weekend approaches, and many students will be going home for a brief visit. You can't miss a chance for some fun. Ron and Hermione will both go too, but you know that Neville will be staying, and you got plans to hang out with him for a couple of days. You haven't had a lot of time with him this year. What do you do during the little party?
So we have 3 choices, and last time I chose the choice which is Dan's 2 weird sisters because I don't drink. I know butterbeer is like a weird beer, and I don't like beer. I've never tried it, so I don't even know. And Gobstone sounds a lot like those games you played at recess. I never played those, so I'm not going to play it. Dancing.
Next thing you know, you're finishing a late lunch the next day in a very secluded Great Hall, asking Neville what his plan is. Oh, I actually almost forgot, but I have to help Professor Sprout in the greenhouses with the mandragoras. Me and a couple other students are volunteering. There's a lot of work in getting the salve that we need to unpetrify the victims. You look a bit surprised. You didn't know they asked for help, but you'd be more than willing to lend a hand. However, after you just say that to Neville, he turns all flustered and red. Oh no offense, but it's just selected few. Well, just a few who are very good with plants, as we can't afford to mess these up. He seems very uncomfortable with the implication he just made, so he adds very quickly, not that I think you would, but we just have to be careful, and Professor said that you interrupt him, with a short laugh, saying you totally understand and not to sweat it. But it's nice outside, so might as well walk him to the greenhouse and see if he can help with some minor way that doesn't interfere with the process. The greenhouse seems 5 times more chaotic when compared to when you saw it last. Mud splatters every table, the mandrakes seem to have had a little snow fight, minus the snow, of course. A couple of students and Professor Sprout are fussing about and hurriedly adding more earth into the now half-empty vaults, because that was deemed as the closest thing to snow by them. In the end, you did manage to be a bit helpful, but after an hour of dragging more sacks of earth and cleaning some tables up, you tell Neville that you will see him later and head back to the castle.
Then you only have one option, which is to enter the castle.
Your confident posture slumps once you enter the castle, to a faint whisper of the dreaded creature in the walls. You had nightmares almost every night of hearing this bloodthirsty whispering again, as every time you did, someone else has been attacked. You let out a whimper and run towards the general direction of the voice, as it grows louder, louder, and then gone. Thankfully, you don't seem to be the first at the scene this time. You sneak behind a corner, not wanting to be spotted, and poke out to scan the corridor floor. You feel such relief when you cannot see anybody. Maybe the teachers got here in time to defend them, as Professor McGonagall, Snape, Flitwick, and Gilderoy are the ones who beat you there. But your heart drops when you notice the grimness in Professor McGonagall's voice. Then there's the quote of the teacher saying that Ginny is the one that has been taken into the Chamber of Secrets. What? No, that can't be right. Ginny? But you thought she went home with Ron. It takes another couple of painful minutes for the information to truly sink in. Ginny has been taken. Ron and Hermione are not here. You must help. You're about to enter into their line of view, but you hear the teacher speaking about evacuating the students in the morning, how there's nothing else left to do but close Hogwarts and make sure everybody is safe. You can hear the teachers giving up. You hear Lockhart making very poorly timed jabs at how he could have dealt with the situation if he had arrived earlier. Lockhart leaves with a weird little nod as the rest continue to speak in hushed voices. Make sure everyone is safe. How can they say that when Ginny is taken? You will have to come up with something, and come up with it fast.
In Chapter 4, which of the following has happened to you? I met Fox. I even tweeted about it because it was a prompt, so I'm clicking the Fox option.
You allow yourself 10 minutes of pure panic and pacing, and then you gather yourself. Okay, think. What can you do? What do you know? Malfoy doesn't seem to have much to do with this, contrary to what he'd like everyone to believe. The chamber has been opened before. Dumbledore doesn't seem to know who's responsible. Dumbledore also has a very cool phoenix. Thanks, Brain, but not particularly helpful at the moment. Of course, other teachers might have lost hope, but surely Dumbledore will not sit idly when one of his students is in danger. You run all the way up to the tower where the headmaster's office is.
And then I have a reading prompt, which is to read a book from the topmost shelf, either your own or from the library. And for this, I had chosen Children of Blood and Bone. I said that I chose this, but I wasn't going to read this, very likely, because A, a lot of books, and B, I usually read books in series, all of them, and the second book has come out, and I want to read them both followed directly one after another. I'm weird,
You count yourself lucky that Dumbledore's password has not been changed since the last time McGonagall brought you here. But your victory is short-lived as the office is very much empty. Even in panic, you still have to admire the elegance of this room. Everywhere you look, there's magic. Only Fox is perched nearby. You give him a hurried pet and whisper, make sure he sees this when he's back, okay? And you leave a note on Dumbledore's desk. The note says, I have gone to try and save Ginny. I believe the entrance of the Chamber of Secrets is in the Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. Please send help as soon as possible. Harry. You better be right about Myrtle's bathroom. It has clicked in place whilst running up the stairs. The legend says that there was a death. A young girl has died a horrible death by the very monster that haunts the Chamber of Secrets, and she never truly left the castle. What if they mean that the girl still haunts the place? The only young ghost you know is Moaning Myrtle. It's a long shot, but it's the only one you've got.
And you have only one option, which is to go to that bathroom.
Never have you been more happy to find Moaning Myrtle glooming in her cubicle. Now how do you ask her about her death without seeming like a complete insensitive brat, but also in a very timely manner? In Chapter 3, have you chosen to cheer Moaning Myrtle up during Nick's Death Day party?
I did not go to that party, so nope.
From what Hermione has told you about Myrtle, the best way to get onto her good side and get her into a good mood is to tell something slightly embarrassing about yourself. That's just the way she seems to operate.
And we have a prompt, which is to tweet and share a little funny story about one time that you had to really laugh at yourself, with hashtag making Myrtle laugh. Here's the tweet I made. It's not that funny. I found it funny. It's the only thing I could think of, so.
She doesn't seem to mind and even looks a bit eager to share her death story. She does, however, get quite comfortable and starts relaying her story in a very dramatic, slow pace, so you have to rush her a bit, which she does not appreciate. At the end, she points to the sink. Big yellow eyes, right there by the sink, she exclaims, whooshing down to scare you and add to the dramatics. And then casually, leaning back to one of the pillars, crossing her hands. That's it. That's the last thing I remember. The sink. The sink must be the entrance. The monster must have come up through here. But how? Can it change shape to fit through the taps? With that thought, you lean down to inspect the taps and notice tiny decorative snakes all around the sink. Slither in air. In Chapter 3, did you discover that you can speak Parseltongue?
No.
You have this odd sensation inside of you. It reminds you of another time when you were at the zoo, before you even knew of the true world you belonged to. Then, too, you had an odd feeling of sameness, of familiarity. You don't know what is making you think that you should just ask this to open up, but you trust your instinct.
Then there's a prompt, which is to read the first book you think about. And for this I chose Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I've been wanting to read this since I bought it. So Yes.
You focus on the snakes, imagine them moving, alive, and speak, open. But even you can tell this was just in English. You stand up, take a deep breath, close your eyes remembering the snake at the zoo, and try again. A weird hissing escapes your lips, and you feel the floor shifting. You jump back just in time as the sink seems to be expanding and replacing the tiles below, leaving a massive gaping tunnel at the middle. It almost looks like a water slide, but with a 50-50 chance of you perishing at the bottom. Well, it is now or never, and if it's not now, then it's a forever never for Ginny. You take a step towards it and slide down into the Chamber of Secrets.
And then you have only one option, which is to enter the Chamber of Secrets. Then there's a description from the book of the Chamber of Secrets.
Lumos, you mutter. You sort of regret it as it illuminates what you're standing on. Bones. Lots of tiny bones, most likely rats. The air is so thick with moisture you can feel beads of water collecting on your skin. You take a quick look around. The green mossy brick walls surround you. The tunnel goes straight for a couple of meters, but then forks out. You keep your wand and mine at the ready, preparing a couple of spells that you can use if the need arises. You need to hurry and find Ginny before it's too late.
Then you choose between going left or right. I always choose right because I'm right-handed. I don't know.
You turn right. It's so bloody dark. You raise your shining wand above your head to illuminate more of the path as you hear a high-pitched screech from above you. Your first thought that these are bats, but tiny, angry, blue pixies appear, trying to tangle in your hair and pull your wand away from you, snatching at your robes and trying to poke you in the eyes. You try to swat them away, but there's too many. However, you're relieved, as this is actually the one thing you did learn from this year's Defense Against the Dark Arts lessons. No thanks to Professor Lockhart, though.
And then there's only one choice, which is the Immobilis charm spell, whatever.
Phew, that was hard, but you have a nagging feeling it will not be the hardest thing you have to do today. With somewhat shaking knees, you continue on. You reach an ornate brass circle door with 7 snakes interlinked. Without thinking too much, you ask for it to open, imagining the snakes coming to life. Another hiss comes out of you, and the door does spring to life. It scratches itself when the snakes slither into their new positions, allowing for the heavy metal door to click and swing slightly open. You lean your whole body's weight into it to push it enough to squeeze through. You're so focused on the task at hand that you only now notice the space you stepped in. This chamber is enormous. This is the Chamber of Secrets. There are massive snake fountains the size of Hagrid's hut on each side of you. They make a straight path toward the biggest statue of them all, that of Salazar Slytherin, right at the end of it. The place is so echoey that every single step you take on the hard marble floor carries through the chamber and back, making it very hard to be unnoticed. As you carefully walk forward, a little shape catches your eye at the very bottom of the path. A little black-soaked robe and ginger hair. It's Ginny. She doesn't seem to be moving.
And then you have one choice, which is run towards her.
Well, if it isn't the famous Savior. I'm really lucky to meet you. Hope you didn't go through too much trouble finding us here. We were just having a little catch-up with Miss Weasley, although she seemed to have gotten a bit too weak to carry a conversation. So about time you showed up, I was beginning to get bored. An ice-cold voice greets you and you jump to turn around away from Ginny, on whom you were checking. Her pulse is so weak, but it's there. A handsome boy of around 16 is standing near the left. Neither a ghost nor truly alive either. Something close to a memory, its voice and tone not matching the young boy standing in front of you. How rude of me. He flinches for a second, as if from distaste. Tom Marvolo Riddle. But you may know me by a different name, of course. He takes his wand and traces his name in front of you. With a swish of his wand, the letter finds new places, and it spells out, I am Lord Voldemort. Well, that's just brilliant. Truly brilliant. Your mind works a mile per hour trying to find a way to get out of the situation. The only advantage you see is that he doesn't seem to be fully himself, and that you still have your wand. But no matter what you think about, it all just ends up with you dying here with Ginny. And there's no way you're leaving her behind. Let's see you dance. I hope you're not too tired. Wouldn't be as fun to watch. And he turns towards the central statue, reaches his wandless hand towards it and says, Open. Kill them. Serve the rightful heir of Slytherin. To your complete shock, the statue in front of you moves, its mouth opening only to allow entrance to an enormous snake, a live one. It's a basilisk.
And then you only have one choice, which is, well, crap. And then, who are you here with? No one, so by myself.
You run back to the door you came from, desperately trying to think of something you could do. Please, please, someone help me. A couple of tears run down your dirty cheeks. Suddenly you hear the most beautiful, delicate birdsong. Carefully you open your eyes and spot a little red dot in the distance. It's Fox. Not sure how this would help, but so relieved to have someone else by your side, you extend your hand expecting it to land nearby. But it flies past you, and from the shadow on the wall you can see that it attacked the basilisk, blinding it. The creature shrieks, the sound shattering a couple of statues. You grab one of the fallen pieces and throw at it. What am I doing? I have a wand. Massive snake focuses on you again, hearing your steps enraged by the recent attack. Of all the spells you know, only one escapes your lips.
Then we have another prompt, which is read a book that's shorter than the one you finished before. So my thought process at the time was a book that was shorter than Horror Store. So I chose My Sister the Serial Killer. This was a few pages shorter than Horror Store, and I'm also really excited to read this. Let's continue.
You glance at Fox, who must have followed you here after sensing you're in danger, who showed such loyalty to you. You think of Dumbledore, your friends, Ginny, your parents. You feel an enormous power in your soul. You hope this works. Most importantly, you have hope. Reducio. A bright yellow, smoky charm hits the basilisk square in the heart, enveloping its whole body in a bright yellow glow. The basilisk stops short and shifts uncomfortably. Silent falls, the most intense silence you have ever experienced. And then the basilisk shrinks into the size of a grass snake. It hisses silently and slithers quickly, disappearing in one of the chamber's crevices. Oh wow, it actually worked. You gawk at the spot the basilisk was looming just a second ago, not believing your luck, until you hear a cold laugh from where Ginny's body lays. Well then, I seem to have underestimated you. Most annoying, but fear not. Once I gain my powers back fully, and once this girl's body gives in, which won't be long now, then your attention trails off as you feel a little peck at your back. You look behind, where Fox pushes a fang towards your leg. You pick it up and do the only thing you can think with it. Pierce the Tom Riddle's diary that's laying near Ginny. Voldemort releases an angry scream but fades out of view before you can say anything else. Ginny wakes, and before you explain all of it to her, you make sure to thank the Phoenix.
And then there's only one option, which is to grab Fox's tail and fly back to the castle.
You're made to sleep for maybe 2 to 3 days. Who's counting? At the hospital wing, before you're allowed to even think about going back to your dorm. You may have many visitors, a grateful Ginny and Mr. and Mrs. Weasley, Ron and Hermione, and Dumbledore. The headmaster, after prefacing that it was extremely risky and perhaps not the brightest of ideas to go on a rescue mission, tells you that you showed an unsurmountable amount of courage, loyalty, and love that night. He awards you 100 house points, although winks at you and asks you not to boast about it to many friends. He also informs you that Dobby was set free by a fanciful trick of Dumbledore's, but he doesn't specify what exactly the trick was. You're just happy to hear that Dobby can finally be free of his awful masters. Soon it seems like most of the school has heard of your adventures, and whilst more attention wasn't what you wanted, at least this time it's not driven by fear or speculation of you being some evil heir. You get a few apologies from fellow students, and most smile and nod appreciatively when you pass. Even those who don't normally like you that much seem thankful that due to your efforts, Hogwarts will be there to welcome them home next year. You, Ron, and Hermione set off to the Great Hall for the end of your feast, where you laugh, celebrate, and eat all that your heart desires. All is well.
And that is the end. So, I chose these 3 books. Let's get back to present time. Bye. Hello, it's the 3rd of January. I just filmed 2 videos and it's not even lunchtime. I have some news. I've read nothing of Starless Sea, so that is freaking great. New Year's clearly happened since it's January.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I watched Frozen 2. It is the best thing of my entire life. It is so good. There is amazing music. Into the Unknown is my favorite. I loved it. I love the outfits. I love the loose hair. I love everything. Olaf is the most hilarious thing in my entire life. I'm gonna go try to finish a book. I'm not gonna read the 4 books that I have left, just saying. Yeah, that is everything for now. I'll see you later. It's Monday, also known as the Readathon has ended, and I did not complete it as usual. Starless Sea, I'm still reading. I'm on page 212. It is great. I'm really liking it, so there's a positive side, but I didn't finish it and I didn't even start the other 4. That is everything for today, for this video. I'm gonna go. I have to study. I'm probably not going to, but I have to. I'm gonna try and gather some brain cells. That is the end of this video. I hope you didn't find it boring, and it's probably too long. But yeah, I hope it's not too bad. And I'll see you in my next weird video. Bye!